James here, along with Dave, really excited to talk about this particular premise, and that is being able to make money by fixing code. So as we've stated before with AI, you don't necessarily have to be an expert in anything. You don't have to be an expert photographer to have great images. You don't have to be an expert person to be able to make content, whatever that may be, or writing a book, among other things, because AI can do it. Well, let's move that premise on to coding. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to show you what can be done, or some initial examples of what can be done, and then how you could monetize that. All right, so I'm in ChatGPT, and I typed in, what is wrong with this code? And I've typed in a piece of code here. And let's hit enter. The issue with this code, and it's telling us, and it's talking to me in the code speak, geek speak, that I may or may not understand. That's not the point, but look at this. It says to fix this, you should do X. It's literally giving you the code, in this case, Python code. It recognizes what the type of code is, and it's giving you what should happen. So it says, it understands what you're trying to do, and it says, if you do this, it's going to give you what you want. It's literally created that code, and you can copy that code from here. So that's pretty amazing, and that obviously is only going to get better in time. So we're creating this in April. Who knows where this is going to be in May? But as of right now, we can fix code in ChatGPT. So how can we monetize that? Well, number one, if I went to a site like People Per Hour, which is a site where people can say, you could either hire people or they could do things for you. Look at this right here. Premium bug fixing. I will fix scripts. I'll fix code for $35. Maybe you want to charge more. There's all kinds of things. I will do certain things with coding. There's a whole area of I will help with coding. So you can use ChatGPT to do that. That's one option. On top of that, there's all these different websites where it's called Bounties. So if I go to a website like bountysource.com, if I go to Hunt Bounty, there's people that'll go on here, and businesses will say, it's like, if you can fix this code, I have this issue here, fix it, $500, fix it, $145, 50, $80. So you can be potentially picking these off and using ChatGPT to fix the code. So I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to fix this code, but my point is that there is a market out there where people are potentially willing to pay big money. And when you look at these items, $15, $20, my assumption is that a lot of these codes that need to be fixed, I'm assuming the $15 item is probably not as difficult as the $500 item. My point is, it's worth a try. You could say, well, I could try this and put it into ChatGPT. ChatGPT fix it. Okay, here's the code. $30, please.
Right.
And so why not do that? Why not know that there is a big market out there where people want help with code, especially newbies? See, when you're dealing with seasoned programmers, a lot of times they're not necessarily reaching out for help with code because they're getting all into GitHub and all these areas, repository, and they're talking to other programmers within their company. They're not reaching out like this. A lot of times it's people that are brand new to coding, that are, maybe it's a college student or something, and they're like, I'm trying to write this code and understand it. That's the perfect example. You could be on Fiverr. You could be in many places that I'll take a look at your code, and if I fix your code, you pay me, and you just pop it in ChatGPT.
Right. Yeah, and if I'm noticing over on the left, the amount that people are making, this guy on the second one made $50,000 with 13 bounties solved, 83,000 with 12 bounties solved. Wow, 50,000 with one bounty.
Wow.
That's
so that's a click. Hey, put that as a clickbaity title, Dave. $50,000 to have 5 seconds for ChatGPT. But that's the thing. Here's something that resonated with me, and I'm sure you've heard this, and the listener may have heard this before, but I'll tell this story. There's a story, and I may get it slightly wrong, where it's something like there's this big machine that runs this big assembly line, and it stops working. And it's $50,000 that we're losing a day if this machine's not working, and they can't fix it. All of a sudden, a guy comes up and he's like, if I fix it, will you give me $50,000? Okay. And the guy goes over, and he goes over to a certain little part of it, and he hits it with a hammer, and the thing starts working. And the guy looks at him. He's like, I'll have $50,000, please. And the guy says, I'm gonna give you $50,000 for you hitting this with a hammer. He said, no, it was $5 for the hammer. The rest of the money was knowing where to hit it. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So when you're
Yep.
seeing something like this and you're like, you could be paid, I'm saying $20, $15, and potentially up to $50,000 for fixing code by using ChatGPT and using where AI is going to be. If you're watching this video 6 months from now, who knows where we're going to be 6 months from now? You could be using a tool like ChatGPT or a tool similar to that that could be able to these complex $20,000 problems in seconds. And this site right now, these people that are with these big companies that have these big problems, they're just not aware of the fact that AI could be handling this. And that's what's so beautiful about the time that we're in, is that because the viewer and because we are on the cutting edge of where AI is and where it's going to be, you're going to be able to access supercomputer brains, PhD and above level brains that could figure out complex or what's deemed as a complex bug or coding issue in a mere matter of seconds. We just know where to go to put the code in. And here it is.
Yeah.
Does this work for you? $20,000, please.
Once again, it's knowledge arbitrage. And that's, I think, one of the best ways that we can make money right now with AI is knowing the things that AI does and then bringing it to a market that doesn't know AI does this, and then offering it to them for, like in that case, $50,000. I'm not saying he used ChatGPT, but that's the high level potential, right? That's knowledge arbitrage. I think you're going to be hearing a lot about that in this channel, because that's the moment we're at right now. Now, eventually, like, okay, look, let's say when the internet started, right? People didn't know that you could buy Bitcoin on the internet back in the day, whenever Bitcoin started in 2008, 2009. But those that did know how to buy it, you had to go through a bunch of loops to buy it back then. A bunch of hoops, I mean, to buy it back then. People that did know how to buy it were able to buy it for like $100, right? And now it's at what, 28,000? And that's because of knowledge arbitrage. They knew how to get in and get it. They had to jump through a bunch of hoops, but they got it. And now they own it and it's worth $28,000. That's just one example. The same thing with back in the day when I first started online, selling things online, people were nervous about giving their credit card over a website. They didn't know how secure it was and that kind of thing. So I used to actually have people send me checks for an ebook, which is really funny. But the point is that over time, that changed and people were, now it's very common. You put in your credit card like nobody's business, piece of cake, no big deal. So in the beginning of any technological revolution like AI is, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for knowledge arbitrage. Just the fact that you know the things that you're learning here on this channel and other people don't, allows you to profit massively, especially the way that we're guiding you and helping you guys along to understand the different ways you can do it.
And that's why it's important. A lot of this is timing when we're coming up with these ideas to jump on it now while you have that 6 month advantage over someone else. But also when you're watching this video later on, it's like the premise of it, because the things are going to happen and change so fast. We're going to be able to solve bigger and bigger problems as the months go on. But it's this whole notion. And the more you watch these videos, the more you understand and start to open your eyes up to opportunity that, okay, here's this problem. I can solve this problem here. People are still thinking it should cost $100 an hour to solve this problem. It's taking me 30 seconds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How can you make your everybody has 24 hours in a day, but how can I make my hour more valuable, 100 times more valuable than someone else? Not because I'm smart, but because I'm using these particular tools to say, okay, my hour can be broken up into 5-minute segments. Each of those 5-minute segments could be worth $100, let's say. I'm going to get my math wrong here, but is there 12 fives and 60? If there's 12 fives and 60, right? And that's $100 per task. That's $1,200 for my hour versus someone else that's charging $100 per hour, let's just say. And that $100 per hour person could have went through 8 years of college to learn that specific information. I'm sorry you did that. I'm sorry you spent 8 hours in college. I'm glad you're smarter than me, but guess what? This tool now beats you and I'm making more money. That's how I'm looking at it.
That's it. That's the power of AI. It speeds up your path to the cash. It speeds up how fast you can make things happen. and therefore it speeds up time. It's like speeding up time, basically, not just in actual like minutes, but time in, like James said, if somebody spent 5 years in college, you know, and you didn't have to do that now because you have GPT or Midjourney, you have AI tools that are like a second brain that are far more intelligent, let's say, than, you know, just about any college graduate. So you've got this tool now, and our goal here on this channel is to show you how to monetize these tools, these AI tools. And I think the real magic also is going to come along, James, as we potentially string 2 or 3 AIs together to create something mind-boggling, to create like a mother of all bombs of AI, you know, monetization. And those are the things that I know that James and I will create products about, because these things that we're showing you guys here in these videos, these could easily be products. These could easily be courses that we teach and we bring to you, right? And we're not charging you for them. They're just here. All we ask is that you like, subscribe, comment, and that you share these videos with people that can benefit from them.
Absolutely. Let people know that we're real, coming with some crazy content. So this channel is going to grow by default because I don't know anyone else that's going to be able to bring monetization like this on a regular basis like we can, Dave. And that's not to be arrogant, but it's just something that we're very good at, and we've proven over the years. So you know, we're going to crush the competition in terms of this kind of stuff because we live it and breathe it. So I'm excited for everyone that subscribes, and not just those that watch this content, but that take action. That's what I'm really excited for.
Yeah, we want to hear your success stories in the comments. So if this topic today was like right up your alley, maybe you're a programmer, maybe you're a beginner programmer, and you're like, oh man, I didn't know I could do this and make this happen so much faster. We want to hear those success stories. That's what we are all about. That's what we're for. I know James and I, we're both passionate about helping people make money. And so that's what's going to trip our trigger and get us excited, is hearing your guys' success stories as we come along and continue to grow this. So stay tuned. There's more bangers coming along the way. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time on Making Money with AI.